I'm Liz. I am at present the secretary of the charity, although I did start life as a volunteer, working 1 day a week and then ultimately 2 days a week. I've maintained those 2 days. Now I'm secretary, but I do everything to do with paperwork. The charity was founded, I think, around about 15 years ago. 12 years ago, something like that. And its aim was really to simply provide a very simple service to people in the community. From that date, it has grown and evolved and expanded to the situation that we find ourselves in today, which is infinitely larger than it was when it started. We've now got 3 shops, and we are very close to opening a new drop-in centre. Well, I have a way of explaining this if anybody ever asks me, what do you do? And I say, the shops provide the income. We sell second-hand, everything you can think of, from what you wear to what you put in your home. That money is then used by a welfare team who provide services to clients. Those services would range from anything to keeping somebody company, to helping them with transport, to actually providing equipment in the home so that they can be healthy and safe. It might be translation services, it might be help with social security issues here and maybe in the UK. So it's an all-encompassing, we take stuff in, we sell it, we use the money to provide a service to those people outside. The success stories are, it's a daily thing. Every day is a success in one shape or form. We have provided valuable equipment to, we've provided defibrillators to businesses. We provide services with people who are very, very poorly, for the children. We provide numerous different charities from our own, from here. We supply other charities who may have needs that are different to ours. For example, we might provide things to the animal charities. We provide services to charities who are looking specifically for refugees. We did a lot with for Ukraine. We provided a lot of stuff to there is a Ukrainian social centre in Torrevieja. We provided stuff to them.
Oh, very good.
And really, everything we provided money and supplies to Caritas, which is the church-related society, and really anything that we can do to spread our service, we look to do. So, to go back to what I said at the start, every day is a success day. The people who come into the shop, we regard our volunteers as being ambassadors for our charity.
That's a good word, ambassadors. Yeah.
So we expect our volunteers here and in our other shops and our welfare volunteers, we expect them to be talking to people at all times. Whether it be in the shop, on the street, in the supermarket, whatever. We expect them to be able to explain our services to people who come in the shop. So that's our first line of attack, so to speak. Businesses, fantastic for us because they have skills that we don't have, and they have access to services and are, like yourself, are helping us with specific issues that we may have, and that is a real value to us because we are, when all said and done, we're all volunteers. Yes, we come from a wide range of backgrounds, some of us are professional people from the UK and other countries, so we've come with a lot of skills already, but we need the help of people who are already, as businesses, embedded in the society. We don't always have the time or the expertise. We don't know the people to talk to. So having businesses that will help us is a massive advantage to us.
Absolutely.
We also have businesses who provide us with services. For example, we have jewellers, we have watch people who help us when we get quality items. They help us to know whether, for a start, this is real.
Okay.
And if it is real, what would it fetch?
Quality.
Dig deep into our volunteers, and we find out what they're good at.
Yeah.
So it could be that we've got gentlemen who in the UK have been electricians, have been
see.
plumbers,
Wow.
have been carpenters. We have a lady who's in the shop today who is good on handbags,
Wow.
quality, real handbags.
Wow, really.
And so we have a whole range of people, of experts. We have a lady who comes in who is an expert on dolls, real antique dolls.
Wow, amazing.
So we've got this whole
And they
sort
are
of,
willing to put their knowledge and expertise into this and help you. That is
because they
fantastic.
like the shop.
Yeah.
They like the shop and they like what we do.
Amazing. That's such a great idea.
It,
Amazing.
it's simple.
Yeah.
It's If we look firstly at our relationship with our clients, the daily challenges that we face with those people are, there is an ageing community. There is a community that has been left on its own because maybe a partner has died. All the family are in the UK or somewhere else in the world, and those people are maybe lonely. So we've got that challenge to get over. We need to get over healthcare here and
is a big
healthcare
issue
in
right
the
now,
UK.
isn't it?
Although we are not healthcare professionals and we don't provide a healthcare service to our clients, we have a number of healthcare providers who we vet so that we're sure that the service that we recommend be given to a customer, a client, is actually top notch.
Excellent.
So we do that so the client can be comfortable that the person who's coming into their house to look after their mum, their dad, whoever, is actually legitimate
Yeah.
and is
Professional.
experienced and is professional.
Yeah.
So we have challenges, people who have problems with the social security, and there are massive queues to do. Everything that you want to do in Spain has a queue attached to it. So we can help those people. We have Spanish people on our group of volunteers, so they help the Spanish community, maybe with social security things.
Yeah.
We have people who have been left on their own,
Yeah.
so there's an element of loneliness. And how do you find those people? Because those people don't come out.
They don't speak.
They
will
don't speak and say, I'm lonely.
Exactly.
We have to then almost search out those people. And we do that by speaking to clients who come in the shop,
Yeah.
clients we meet on the street, and we say, if you know anybody who you think would benefit from our service,
Bring them to us.
please let me know. Let me know. And it's amazing how many customers who come in the shop say, well, actually my neighbour
Really?
never goes out.
Wow.
So it does this, it grows
It grows.
to the point where you've got a lot of people to look after.
Yeah.
We do have a lady who is a volunteer who is very, very good at the Spanish social health care system.
Really?
So anybody that's struggling with that, we can help that. There's obviously a language issue.
Always, yeah.
Always, but you know, you take that as read when you come to Spain and you speak English. There's a language.
Yeah.
There's a language
But
issue.
obviously there you have your contacts, you have your translators.
We do,
that
yes.
actually can.
So we can help those people. We have Spanish people on our group of volunteers, so they help the Spanish community,
Yeah.
maybe with social security things.
Yeah.
We have people who have been left on their own,
Yeah.
so there's an element of loneliness. And how do you find those people? Because those people don't come out.
They don't speak.
They
will
don't speak and say, I'm lonely.
Exactly.
We have to then almost search out those people. And we do that by speaking to clients who come in the shop,
Yeah.
clients we meet on the street, and we say, if you know anybody who you think would benefit from our service,
Bring them to us.
please let me know. Let me know. And it's amazing how many customers who come in the shop say, well, actually, my neighbour
Really?
never goes out.
Wow.
So it does this. It grows
It grows.
to the point where you've got a lot of people to look after.
Yeah.
We do have a lady who is a volunteer who is very, very good at the Spanish social health care system.
Really?
So anybody that's struggling with that, we can help that. There's obviously a language issue.
Always, yeah.
Always, but you know, you take that as read when you come to Spain and you speak English. There's a language.
Yeah.
There's a language
But
issue.
obviously there you have your contacts, you have your translators.
We do, yes.
That actually can help.
And we do provide translation services.
Fantastic.
Our Spanish ladies will go with an English person to the social security office
Life-saving, yeah.
and work with them, or to the doctor.
So important, yeah.
Yeah. So the challenges, I suppose, are elderly. The number of elderly clients is going up. And we can't always find a way to the right people. But by experience, by tenacity, we get there in the end. We have one thing that is, when we open the drop-in centre, we're looking to, on the plan, the master plan, is to have a men's mental health clinic.
Wow.
We don't know how we'll do it yet,
But it's a point.
because that is a massive thing that we know affects men. They don't want to talk about it, but let's see if there's a way that we can get those people to come in a nice environment,
Yeah.
you know, and open up.
Exactly.
Sometimes those people get involved with unscrupulous carers.
Yeah.
We have
exploiting them, taking advantage of their
We have had
weak
a
position.
number of people who have fallen foul of unscrupulous providers, care providers.
Wow.
Now we get involved with that then. We have solicitors work with us. We get involved to try and undo the damage,
Denouncing,
the damage done.
reporting
Yeah,
those,
yeah. But that is a big thing, and we try and steer people, you know, please
Yeah.
come to us. I would say do it. Do it. Volunteering, absolutely do it, because the community, the volunteers themselves are a community.
Yeah.
They are all lovely, lovely people. Even me. And
I bet you are.
and there is a lovely feeling of, there's a community spirit.
Yeah.
We all know what's happening in the charity. We are very communicative with our volunteers, so they all know what's happening. They are all engaged in what we're doing. They all have a stake in what we're doing. And it is a very, very pleasant community. Here's a perfect example. When you arrived this morning, there were already 8 people in the back having a cup of coffee together.
Beautiful.
That in itself is what the charity is for.
Yeah.
That community is for.
Internal and external community.
Yeah.
And everyone working with you does share the same vision.
Yeah, they do,
which
yeah.
is beautiful.
And they all know what's happening.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's one thing that I've been very, very keen on, because that was part of my life in the UK, is make sure people know what's happening. Because that way they can feel engaged with what is happening with the charity, what direction it's going in. And I want, if one of our volunteers is asked by a customer in the shop, what do you do? I want that volunteer to be able to say, this is what we do. The role will start very, very soon. It will start to expand very soon because we will be opening our drop-in centre, which is something that we've been working towards for many, many years. It's always been a vision of ours to have a place where people can come together for whatever is being offered, whether it be simply to come and have a cup of coffee, whether it's to come and read the paper and have a chat to people, or whether it's to have a specific talk about something that's happening. So we see that becoming a bigger and bigger, better thing. If you were to ask Esther, she would say her intention is to own the whole of the Playa Flamenca Centre.
All right, that's
but
very ambitious.
you have to think big. You have to think big.
You have to be
so
ambitious.
I suppose it would be right to say it's more of the same. More of the same. Just get better at what we're doing.
Beautiful.
Because we're volunteers, 99% of our people who work with us are volunteers. So we have to accept that those people are giving their time freely. So we can't expect them to be working 10 hours a day.
Exactly.
No.
You have to be flexible.
We've got to be conscientious here, and we've got to be conscious of the fact that those volunteers are volunteers possibly because they're elderly, like me, and they're elderly and they need a bit of downtime. Well, we have the usual social media. We're all elderly, so social media is sometimes a bit difficult, but we have Facebook. We haven't got a Twitter account yet because I don't think most of us know what that is, but never mind. We have a website. We do most of our things by conversation. That's the medium, I would say, that most of our people are comfortable with. We're all talkers.
Beautiful.
So we like to talk to people. So we spread the word about what's happening. We spread it verbally. And it's backed up by social media. We are looking at ways to expand on that, but I must admit, the people that we speak to, they speak a different language. I don't mean it's Spanish.
It's not always easy, but you also work with a very international community with different languages, so it's not always easy.
But they speak, technology speak, and we don't. So they tell us what they're going to do, and we say, we don't know what you're talking about. You might as well be talking,
fully
I don't know.
It's not always easy.
No.
Last question from my side, and with that we're going to finish. Anything you'd like to say to us as your sponsoring partner in my investments?
I think I would like to say first and foremost a huge thank you. It's very pleasing for us to show that a business of your calibre will invest time, help, hands, whatever you want to call it, into us. That really touches our heart. We would like to think that we do not waste the interest that you have shown in us. If we ever do, please tell us. Please tell me.
Don't worry about it.
But I suppose that's the foremost feeling, and I must say, immediately anyway, thank you to you personally for the help you've given me in the last few months with the things that we're trying to do practically.